Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on Ravelry, Instagram, and YouTube, and this is the April vlog. So today is April 6th. I've had a few days off so far this month, but this is the first one where I haven't been like, bajillion plans. I am going to take the kids out to the library and the park, so we will be going. But I thought it would be really nice if I would take a few minutes to talk with you before that. So this, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, we went and saw Beauty and the Beast, and it was so good. I cried like 5 times. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite fairy tale. Any version I can get my hands on, I do. I just love it so much. We went to one of those fancy theaters with the recliner seats, and it's one of the really fancy ones where they make like actual food. We did not partake of that. But it was really, really fun. It was really great. This past week has been spring break, so it's been very little mom time, which is kind of stressful. But I did get to spend a lot of time with my kids, which is good. Because it's spring break, work has also been really, really crazy because obviously people board their dogs. I'm exhausted. A lot of the people who I talk to on a daily are pretty exhausted too. One thing I did finish is the string band hat that I made for my best friend, and the hat used Premier Serenity yarns in black and Drops Fable in a colorway I don't know. It's string band by Stephen West, and she loves it. Let's look at some works in progress, shall we? So first up, this is Buffalo Crossing, which is my design pattern. This is the garter stitch version, but I changed it because instead of make ones, as my make ones, I used yarn overs. So it's got these lacy lines going up instead of closed lines. And I'm sorry, my arm shadow is in the way and I just can't manage to hold my phone. Okay, there we go. That's better. So I've almost doubled in size what I had done. It's like 4 inches shy of doubled in size this past month, which is pretty exciting. The yarn is a Lion brand yarn. I'm getting really close to the end of that remnant that I had, which I didn't know how much I had, like weight-wise. So I only have this much left. So next month, when I show you this project, I will probably have started on the skein, so I'll have the tag with me. It's not that far away, but it's all the way up there, so that's super far away from here, and I'm not going to get it. The cowl is about 1/3 of the total length that I want it, but I'm not going to buy a new skein of yarn if this remnant right here was almost a full skein. I will just go to the size of the other one. Basically, I just want the cowl to be able to be wrapped around 3 times. I have also been working on my West Yorkshire spinner socks. This yarn was sent to me by Christina. I'm doing toes, heels, and cuffs in this red solid, which is, I believe, Cherry Drop. And this beautiful body of the sock is knit out of the colorway Holly Berry. I have put in the heel. The cowl got so much work this month is because I took it with to see Beauty and the Beast, because none of my other projects were really good in the dark knitting. So this is a project that I don't think I showed you anything about. This is the Ace Bandage section of a Frankenstein sock that I'm making for Josh because he started Frankenstein socks for himself. We were originally going to knit the pattern together, and then I knit it with my knitting group in Kentucky. And I was like, hey, we're doing this. And he eventually started after I had started my socks, and then he just hated it. So he sent the socks to me and I'm knitting them for him. He did 2 of the 5 sections. This is the 3rd section, which is complete, and I'm leaving it on needles because I don't need these needles right this second. So it's just easier than transferring it onto scrap yarn or a holder of some sort. And I have started on the 4th section, which is in the pattern. It's the 5th section. It is the toes and heels. It's kind of my favorite section of the sock. I don't know why, but when I made my first pair, which I made for me out of that orange yarn, I just loved it so, so much. Using for this project is some hand spun that I made. And it's just these lovely greens and browns and autumnal, but it's got like the springy green in here too. It's beautiful. I think it's my favorite skein of hand spun that I made for Josh that he commissioned. I've also started using Premier Serenity sock in a purple colorway that I don't have the tag for. I've started a pair of socks that are going to be shorty socks. They are going to be the Frodo pattern by Claire Ellen, which is out of the Fellowship of the Sock book. I'm just in the ribbing. They're going to be shorty socks. I think I already said that, but then I got distracted by a dog trying to climb on my bed. So, yeah, it's nothing too exciting yet. It's just in the cuffs. I want to finish the cuff, but I don't have, I'm not going to start the actual patterning probably until I finish this other really patterned sock that I'm working on, because ta-da! Look what made it home from Kentucky. These are the Rhombus socks, which is a pattern by Cookie A. I did Fish Lips Kiss Heel, not per pattern. This pattern is also worked toe up, not cuff down, or cuff down, not toe up rather. So I changed that. I did plain knitting until I started a new pattern repeat, and then I continued it on the back of the sock. I think my plan currently is to go with patterning until it's as long folded over as this patterning and then start the cuff. I've also made really good progress on the Diamondback socks, which is a Kirsten Hall pattern. I was up in the cuff last time I showed it to you. And this is the first sock. Both of the yarns are spun right round. This pinky one is graffiti overlay, and this more orangey is Sugar Pop Fizz. And Josh told me that I could use one for his socks and one for something for myself, but I thought it would be more fun if we had matching, non-matching things. So he's getting one sock in one yarn, one sock in the other. They're the same base, so hopefully he appreciates that. But this is the first one. Here's the second one. I needed something easy to knit on, so I just did the cuff and then left it. I'm actually halfway through one of the tiers. This is worked in tiers because they're short rowing and things like that. So I'm halfway through one. I've finished the heel. You can see the turn right here. And now I just need to work my way down the foot. I'm still in this very cool diamond pattern. And then I will start the second one at some point. And then today I'm going to be starting another seamless Saloma in this yarn, which is a red heart, and it's going to be for one of the children. Don't know which yet. Hey guys, it is Thursday, the 11th of April. I have the day off, and I am currently being beckoned by a small child because we are at the park. It is beautiful here, not too hot, mid 60s I think, or low 60s, and it's really, really nice to be at the park again, even though the park is not as beautiful as it was last time I showed it to you. There is the duck pond, and those are the flower areas where there are no flowers yet. So that's what it looks like currently. I am getting ready to play in my journal. Mara was just sitting over there drawing a picture, and yeah, there are two sets of Sharpie markers, Sharpie pens here, because Mara uses this was my old one, and we both use them daily. She uses them more than I do, honestly. And I saw this the other day, and it has more colors, and you can see that one is missing some because she has worn them out. So I treated myself to some new pens today, and I am pretty excited to draw and write, well, as long as the kids want to stay here, I guess. This little guy, he's been circling my table as if there's something here for him, but there's not. Hey guys, it is April 14th? Nope, 15th. It's Saturday, the day before Easter, and I am childless because my children are with my mom. She took them for the weekend because I worked overnight last night. So I got off work at 7. I got home at like 7:30, and then I slept until 2 today. It's almost 4 and I feel like I should eat something, but we don't really have anything here that I want. So I think I'm going to take myself out and then I'm going to go to the park because it's 82 degrees outside. I am not a hot weather person, but I am a park person so much. So I think I'm going to do that and take you with me. I am at the park and maybe you remember this from one of my Bunny Fish Wanders videos. This is what it looks like in springtime when things aren't blooming. And I just walked across the way to fill up my water bottle because it was empty, and that's a problem. But this is where we are on the slab. And this is dinner. I'm having some cheese and veggies and strawberries. And I will likely eat all of this by myself because I eat a lot of food. I have a squirt just in case I feel like it. I brought some knitting. I have the Frankensteak toes. I have the rhombus socks, and I'm trying very hard to work up the leg. It's going slow. I just find that I can only do one pattern round and then one rest round, and then I want to put the project down for a little while, which is fine, but that's where that is. I'm also going to work on this a little bit. This is that draft dodger thing that I told you about, and I said I was going to put in this house, but I think I'm going to put in this home. And I know it's just, you know, a word choice, but I think home will be better. I found this cute little heart button in my button stash, so I decided to do that, the home O in a heart shape also. And I think I'm going to applique a little house somewhere on here. I'm going to start the other part, the second half of the quote, and work it backwards from the other end so that I know how big the house should be to make the space balanced. I also brought my journal, which I will be writing in, and yesterday I did some journal surgery. So I took out 70 pages, 70 pieces, not 70 pages, 70 pieces of paper, and then taped the spine in all the places where it was breaking, because this is not, this is a grid journal, and this is where I took out the 70 pages, and I used my fancy, this is Duck brand, it's not really washi tape, but kind of washi tape. It's stars, and it's my favorite tape, so I don't use it very often, but I was like, you know, for journal maintenance, I'll do it. This notebook is, I don't know what the proper term is, but it's like glue bound, so it's held together by glue, and the glue breaks because I have glued in so many things into here. Obviously I have tabs, I have pages glued in, I have a whole Valentine heart glued in there, so it takes up a lot of space, and even now the back doesn't fit perfect, but it was very, very imperfect before, so now it's better. And I do also have this piece of paper in here that's for note taking that has nothing to do with journaling, and also so Mara can have drawing paper. But that was it was a little nerve-wracking because, you know, I didn't want to destroy my journal. I think in the future I either need to stick with wire-bound journals, which isn't going to happen. I like them okay, but I don't love them. Or one of my favorite journals that I have is actually just a composition wide-ruled notebook, and it was very full. It's actually the only journal that I wrote that I don't still have. I have no idea where it ended up. I feel that one of my siblings probably took it. It was when I was in high school, and my siblings took a lot of my things. But I feel like they probably took it and it's just missing now. But I really, really liked it, and in that case I would take out at the center spine where composition notebooks are held together. I would probably take out, you know, 10 or so pages just to compensate, because I know I'm going to glue things in and tape things in. And I also brought this book. I am obsessed right now with the idea of art journaling. I haven't actually done a lot of art journaling. Obviously I do some things like glue pages in and color, like my mood mandala, is in here, and that's pretty artsy. I'm gonna find that for you. There's like, this is the Valentine's Day, so this is my color calendar. This is the Valentine. This is a bag that Mara made for school for Valentine's. This is last month's mood mandala, done with Sharpie art pens. The quote. I'm kind of obsessed with the idea, though probably won't immediately, of taking an old book and using that as a journal space. Get him!